of jealousy that is permeating throughout this entire league toward Caitlin Clark is nasty work. Paige Bueckers live on Sue Bird's podcast, and you could see it on her face during the pregame telecast, the disgust and the sickness she has when it comes to Caitlin Clark. It must be studied. Damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. What the hell happened to you, Caitlin?
The mainstream sports media and the WNBA establishment tried to sell you a massive, carefully constructed lie. They sat at their pristine desks, looked straight into the camera, and tried to tell you that the intense tension, the brutal hard fouls, and the blatant, unapologetic disrespect aimed at Caitlin Clark was just competitive fire. They smiled for the cameras, pretended everything in the league was completely fine, and tried to hide the ugly, uncomfortable truth behind closed doors. They wanted you to believe that everyone was just playing hard. But buddy, the truth always leaks out, doesn't it? You cannot hide raw emotion forever. In a moment that just completely shattered the WNBA internet and broke the algorithm, the mask finally slipped. Paige Bueckers, one of the absolute biggest faces of women's college basketball, and the supposed golden child that the media wanted to push as the next big thing, just got caught doing the one thing you are never ever supposed to do on camera. She openly admitted that she was jealous. But hold on, because that is not even the craziest part of this story. Because while the haters were busy drowning in their own envy and making excuses on podcasts, Caitlin Clark didn't respond with a PR statement. She didn't respond with an angry tweet. She walked straight into the WNBA All-Star Weekend, flipped a terrifying switch, and transformed into an absolute, uncontrollable beast. She completely hijacked the MVP narrative on night one, turning the league's biggest, most prestigious showcase into her own personal, high-definition revenge tour. And if you think the jealousy from Paige Bueckers is shocking, wait until you see the humiliating, jaw-dropping reality check that Angel Reese was forced to swallow while the entire world was watching. Do not blink, because the true colors of this league have just been completely exposed, and there is no going.
You know, when you be watching like Law and Order and they got evidence in different cases they got to lay out on the table, don't go nowhere. We got a bunch of little evidence here, okay? Look at this. I see a lot of Paige Bueckers fans talk about how she can't stand Caitlin Clark. This might help y'all understand why. Jealousy and envy, not easy emotions to deal with. Take a listen at what Paige Bueckers had to say here.
And then it just felt like women's basketball just took the world by storm, and rightfully so. So I'm not, and I felt bad because I felt like jealous in a way, and I felt like envious, and I've never been that type of person.
I felt jealous and I felt envious. Now, when she talks about women's basketball taking over, who is she talking about? Caitlin Clark.
Truly understand why the league's front office is in a state of pure, unadulterated panic right now. You have to look closely at the psychological warfare happening behind the scenes. These players are veterans. They have spent their entire lives being the absolute best in their respective gyms, being the center of attention and calling the shots. Then, suddenly, a kid from Iowa shows up and completely steals the gravitational pull of the entire sport. Suddenly, the arenas are sold out, the private jets are being booked, and the TV ratings are beating the NBA. But the credit isn't going to the veterans, it's going to number 22. During a recent, highly publicized media moment, the sheer pressure of this reality finally cracked the facade. Paige Bueckers, when pressed on the reality of Clark's massive, earth-shattering motion and her unprecedented financial draw, openly admitted to feelings of jealousy and envy. She even went as far as to desperately deflect the conversation, stating that women's periods should pay more, a completely bizarre tangent, trying to shift the focus away from the undeniable fact that Caitlin Clark is single-handedly writing the checks for the entire sport right now. This wasn't just a simple slip of the tongue. This was a massive, industry-shaking confession. It proved exactly what the true fans have been screaming in the comment sections from the very beginning. The disrespect on the court isn't about basketball. It has never been about basketball. It is about ego. It is about a deep, burning envy that someone else is getting the multi-million-dollar shoe deals, the completely sold-out arenas, and the mainstream global attention. The establishment tried for months to hide this jealousy, to sweep it under the rug, but Paige just accidentally gave the entire game away on a silver...
I do. Women deserve more money.
Women should have more money because they have period cramps. They need to give birth.
Because she's got multiple messages to send to people. One of them is not to be believed. You're going to hear this and you're going to be like, wait a minute, let me get this straight. You think because of this you deserve more money and more accolades and more... Nah. But yet all we hear from the players in this league is we want to be treated like a man. So much that it seems like 70% of the league acts like they're men. Lord knows they're trying to let biological men into the league. And we got Paige Beckers admitting that she's jealous. She's envious of the popularity that Caitlin Clark's got. I mean, yeah, I guess give her credit for two things. Actually admitting it, and the second thing being actually not trying to beat the crap out of Caitlin Clark. I mean, we can't say this. I've never heard Paige Beckers say anything, technically speaking, that's venomous, I don't think, towards Caitlin Clark. I don't remember anything. All right? I mean, look, Paige Beckers can...
Oh, the entire basketball world is plotting against her. Her peers are admitting their jealousy, and the media is trying to downplay her impact. How does a true, once-in-a-lifetime generational talent respond to that kind of toxic environment? She completely destroys them on their own court. Going into the WNBA All-Star Game, the narrative drafted by the league was supposed to be all about the veterans. It was supposed to be a showcase of the established hierarchy, a moment for the older players to remind the world who runs the league. But Caitlin Clark looked at that script, laughed, and tore it to absolute shreds. The exact second her shoes touched the hardwood, she was an absolute beast. She wasn't just playing a game. She was sending a terrifying message to every single locker room in the country. Every deep, contested logo 3 she hit was a dagger to the haters. Every no-look, impossible, needle-threading assist was a glaring reminder that she sees the game of basketball on a frequency the rest of them simply cannot comprehend.
A person where I don't want other people to succeed. Like, I want everyone around me to succeed, like, more than I want myself to succeed. Like, I just want great for people. I want, like, I've always thought, like, showing light on others doesn't diminish your own. Like, I feel like iron sharpens iron, and I just feel like really happy for people who are succeeding, because I know how hard it is to be at this level and how much work it takes and how much resilience and dedication and sacrifice.
So she admitted that the women's basketball took over. We already know why. It's not because of nobody in the WNBA that was already there. This is in college. This is in college. When Caitlin Clark took over, she felt jealous. Now, take a look at this. Paige Beckers was pissed while Caitlin Clark was talking about her signature shoes. Now, take a look at Paige Beckers' face while Caitlin Clark is talking about her signature shoes.
Caitlin, I'm curious, did you hook up any teammates or anybody with the shoe? Or, I mean,
Courtney Williams is rocking them tonight, which, like, I've had multiple people ask for them. I only have size 9 right now.
Look at her face. Look at her face.
So they're actually playing in my samples.
Look at her face. She don't want nothing to do with it. She don't want nothing to do with this. She don't want to hear about no damn Caitlin Clark shoes. She been jealous of this girl since college.
Size 2. So boats have them on. Both of the boats have them on. So yeah, this is a pretty fun pair, and you're looking at. I think it's like Valentine's Day edition. You got the charm on there, but I was gonna wear some all white ones. I'm like, that's not fun enough. We got to break out some.
Look at Paige Beckers' face. She's still jealous.
Some fire.
So cute with the color. The ombre matches the jersey. You mentioned teammates, right? You both have teammates you're participating with. What have you loved?
Now, watch this. You gotta pay attention to the signs, man. The signs be right there in y'all face. I mean,
expanded the floor so completely with such terrifying confidence that the massive crowd entirely forgot anyone else was even playing. The other All-Stars were reduced to background characters in her movie. By the end of the night, the league had absolutely no choice. It was a complete worst-case nightmare for the haters, but they were physically forced to bow down and acknowledge her as the supreme driving force of the entire weekend. The MVP title was effectively hers the moment she walked through the tunnel. She didn't just beat the competition, she psychologically broke them. She proved that you can have all the jealousy in the world, but it cannot stop pure, undeniable greatness. But buddy, wait. Here is the absolute twist that makes this the greatest sports drama of the entire decade. This is the part the WNBA desperately wants you to ignore. While Caitlin Clark was putting on a literal masterclass, breaking records, and cementing her legendary status in real time, what was happening on the other side of the fence? What was the league's designated villain doing while her ultimate rival was making history? Angel Reese was putting on a clinic on how to miss point-blank layups
in the world, and we carry so much on our shoulders. I feel like we're fearless.
I'm gonna keep it real. Casual sports fans, we don't want to hear that crap. I mean, we just don't. We don't want to hear it. We want to watch you play as an athlete. We don't want to hear about your once a month situation. Sorry, we don't want to hear about it. Oh, and they wonder why the league didn't grow forever. This league is never about basketball. The story is never about basketball. It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen. Paige Becker's on being jealous of Cece.
And then it just felt like women's basketball just took the world by storm, and rightfully so. So I'm not, and I felt bad because I felt like jealous in a way, and I felt like envious, and I've never been that type of person where I don't want other people to succeed. Like, I want everyone around me to succeed, like, more than I want myself to succeed. Like, I just want great for people. I want, like, I've always thought, like, showing light on others doesn't diminish your own. Like, I feel like iron sharpens iron, and I just feel like really happy for people who are succeeding, because I know how hard it is to be at this level and how much work it takes and how much resilience and dedication and sacrifice.
I mean, yeah, it's wild. The jealousy is from the top down. The WNBA hates Clark. They can't stand that it took a white, straight female to make the league known. They hate it. Darnell, they hate it. Yeah, they're livid about it. When your lifeblood of your league, in your opinion, is at your activism and your sexual preference and your skin color, the polar opposite.
Rest on the floor was absolutely humiliating. While the fans were standing on their feet, losing their minds for every single move Clark made, they were forced to watch Reese visibly struggle to finish the most basic, fundamental plays at the rim. Every single missed layup was a glaring, painful, high-definition reminder of the massive gap in actual, undeniable skill. This is the ultimate poetic justice, perfectly written by the basketball gods. They spent months trying to drag Caitlin Clark down to their level. They used hard fouls, cheap shots, jealous whispers, and media spin. But when the brightest lights turned on, when there was nowhere left to hide and the entire world tuned in, the truth was brutally undeniable. The league tried to push a rivalry to the fans, but what we actually got was a complete and utter massacre. The haters are officially out of excuses, they are out of breath, and they are completely out of time. The WNBA is completely nuts right now, and the landscape has permanently shifted. Paige Bueckers is confessing her jealousy on a live microphone. The loudest haters in the room are missing wide-open layups on national television, and Caitlin Clark is sitting alone on the absolute top of the mountain, holding the MVP crown and smiling. The old guard desperately tried to gatekeep the sport, but Clark didn't just open the gates, she kicked them completely off the hinges.
The energy done got real weird around here. And I don't understand why. Well, I guess I do understand why you admitted to being jealous. Take a look at this. Paige admitting her jealousy and envy for Caitlyn is exactly what we've been telling y'all. There's nothing wrong with jealousy, but when you turn it into bitterness and hatred, then it becomes a problem. I'm glad she could be open about it because we know most of the players feel that way. That's a fact. That's a fact. We know most of the players feel that way. And then there are the players who take it out on her, whether it's on the court or on threads. And then they throw in the racism angle because it's easy to do because she's white girl from Iowa. I agree. If you think that Paige is the only one that said it out loud, don't get it confused. Paige is just the one to say it out loud that she was jealous of Caitlyn Clark. That she is envious. She couldn't even cover it up on her face during that pregame stuff. She couldn't cover it up. Take a look at this. Accepting and acknowledging those feelings is what stops it from becoming bitterness and hatred. World would be so much better if others followed her example. I mean, wow, considering Paige gets to be beloved while CC every move is demonized. Careful about envy. Even the people are saying it. She looked so bored and awkward in the interview yesterday. That is a fact. Paige Beckers came out and admitted that she was jealous. Take a look at these comments. Should I say at least Paige has the decency to admit it? The rest of them straight up haters with no guts to admit it. Wow. She's brave for admitting it, and I hope she learns to let it go before it takes root any deeper. Once it becomes almost impossible to think clearly. It's just look at what jealousy and envy have done to some other players. A bitter heart is like flesh-eating bacteria. Paige Beckers came out and admitted that she was jealous and envious of Caitlyn Clark. And you could see it on her face in the pregame media stuff that they did together. You could see it. Why was it so awkward? Why was she just staring off into space? Why was she... When that hatred, when that envy, that jealousy isn't getting your heart, it could be hard to shake. Now, in respect to her...
Buddy, I am passing the microphone straight to you guys because I need to hear your thoughts on this absolute madness. Are you shocked that Paige actually had the nerve to admit she was jealous? And how incredibly hilarious is it watching the haters completely fail on the big stage while Clark dominates everything she touches? Drop your raw, unfiltered thoughts in the comments down below right now. If you want the real, uncensored truth about what is actually happening in the sports world, you need to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell right this second. We don't miss, and clearly, neither does Caitlyn Clark. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.